everyone, welcome to Shell's Sugar Rush. Welcome back if you've been here before. Today we're going to be making some heart-shaped macarons with a cream cheese marshmallow filling in light of Valentine's Day around the corner. A very light, tasty treat. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as that notifications bell so you'll be notified when I put out more videos just like this one. And with that being said, let's make some macarons. Okay, so we're going to start by sifting our dry ingredients together. And we're going to take 1 1/4 cups of almond flour, ground very finely, and 1 cup of powdered sugar. And we're just going to mix those in there and sift this together in a bowl. Okay guys, we're just going to set that aside until we need it a little bit later. And we're going to take 3 large egg whites and 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. We're going to put our egg whites into the mixer and mix them up to stiff peaks. Okay, so I'm going to pour my 3 large egg whites into the mixing bowl. And you do want to make sure that you wipe your bowl and whisk down with some vinegar just prior to doing this so that there's no traces of fat left in your bowl or on your equipment, okay? So we're going to start on a low speed. Okay, so at this point we've got a good amount of foam going on the top of those egg whites, so I'm going to slowly now add in the granulated sugar. Okay, so let's take another look. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so we're ready to start our macaronage process. Okay, so as we start our macaronage process, I'm going to take my dry ingredients and I am going to sift them one more time into our meringue. Right, and just sift that in. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and fold that in together. So as I'm folding this in, I am just going to go ahead and add just a dab of white food coloring, just a couple drops, just to offset that the almond flour, the kind of yellowish look of the almond flour. So just a little bit of white in there. And you want to make sure when you're scraping and folding, you get the bottom really well so that you don't leave any of that dry ingredient on the bottom of the bowl. And some people have a certain number of times they do their stir and fold, but honestly, I don't really count. I just watch for the consistency that we're looking for, which is going to be the ribbon stage. And that is just simply where if you lift up your spatula, your batter will fall into a ribbon. And you can see we're clearly not there yet. Okay, still some breaking in our line, but we're almost there. And there we go. So now I'm going to take a little bit of this and bring my other bowl back, and I'm going to put some in this bowl just because I want to color some of this pink. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of my pink, and I'm just using a Chef Master Neon Bright Pink for our pink part of the macarons. that in real quick. Okay, now we're gonna put our colors into our piping bags and pipe some macarons. Okay guys, so at this point we're gonna put our batter into a piping bag. So we'll start with our white. Okay guys, I'm gonna bring in our tray, and here I've got my baking pan turned upside down, and what I've got on here is my heart templates underneath my silicone mat, okay? And since I'm gonna do a swirl of the pink and white, I've got each of them in its own piping bag, and what I'm gonna do is I've got a larger piping bag ready with my tip, my round tip that I need for the piping, and I'm going to clip the top of both of these and drop them into the big bag. And you want to just put them evenly in there and make sure they're at the same spot. And I'm going to just close the end up with one of my little clips here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start piping our hearts out. And what you want to do is you want to start from the big part of the heart, and you want to have a little more pressure there. And as you come down, release your pressure. Okay? And we're going to pipe them all out, and then I'm going to take a little toothpick and show you how to kind of make sure you get that fine point on your heart. Okay, so at this point I'm just going to kind of look around and see if there's any bubbles that we need to pop. And also I'm going to just drag the bottom of the heart just a little bit so that we get that point on the end, okay? Okay, so at this point you want to just kind of take your pan and just give it a few taps on the bottom, just to bring any more air bubbles up to the top there. Okay, looks pretty good. Now we're going to let this set for about 30 to 40 minutes just to form that nice skin, dry skin that we're looking for on the top of the macarons, okay? And then we'll be ready to pop it in the oven. So for our macaron filling, we're going to do a cream cheese marshmallow filling. So it won't be quite as heavy as traditional buttercream, and it'll have a little bit lighter, fluffier texture to it. So we're going to start out with 4 ounces of cream cheese. Let's put that in there. And I'm just going to mix that up real good and cream it. Okay, and we're going to add in 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And you want to make sure your ingredients are at room temperature for this. Okay, and I'm going to add in a ½ teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, and then we're going to add in 2 cups of powdered sugar. And I'm just going to do this one at a time so we can kind of get it incorporated without making a cloud of dust here. And I'm just going to take a minute here and scrape down the sides of the bowl just to make sure we get all that powdered sugar incorporated. Now I'm going to add in 1 cup of marshmallow cream or marshmallow fluff. creamy, fluffy texture to it, and that's what we're looking for. Yeah, we're gonna stick that in our piping bag, and I have just a star tip on the end of it, one of my favorite tips here that we're gonna use. Put a clip on that and it'll be ready to go when our macarons are done cooling. Okay, so our macaron batter has been setting for about 45 to 55 minutes, and we now have that skin we're looking for. When you can touch it and your hand doesn't make a dent in it, then you know you've got that skin. So we're about ready to go in the oven, but you also want to make sure that you remove your templates before you put it in the oven if you are using templates under your silicone mats. So now we're ready to pop them in our 300-degree oven for 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, so our heart macarons are out of the oven. So let's see how they did. Pop off. Oh yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So we'll just unstick them all from the mat, and then we'll put some filling in. Okay, so now we're gonna put some filling in them and see how they taste. Okay guys, so here is our heart macarons, and they came out just absolutely gorgeous. And they are going to be such a treat to eat. Just a footnote here, now macarons usually are better the next day. You refrigerate them overnight and kind of let those flavors settle, and they will be fantastic the next day. And I hope that you try some of these at home. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. And if you enjoy videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notifications bell so you'll be notified when I put out my next video. See you next time. I'm going to clip the top of both of these and drop them into the big bag.